All right, so we worked on profile page here for small form for editing and change password, editing profile, all these things. We'll use a bottom sheet kind of structure. For this, we're using Bootstrap in our application. So if you go to Bootstrap's official website here, we have something called off canvas. We are going to use this off canvas for our bottom sheet implementation. Here, if we see, we have these toggle top, toggle right, toggle bottom canvas. So you see this thing. We are going to use this thing to mimic a bottom sheet in our case. All right. If we quickly see, this is what we have. This section off canvas bottom, all these things. And when we click here on this thing, if we right click, if we inspect, we should see what it changes. This is the bottom canvas. We click. Now we can see off canvas bottom, which is this one. Then show. So this show class, which is not here right now. So if this is in open mode, we should have show. Then we have tab index -1, ID is fine, area labeled by style, visibility visible. Okay. And here if we see, this is not there. Area model true, role dialog. Then inside this we have all these things we can skip. Then we have this section off canvas backdrop, fade and show. So this is additional part which gets added with this. Right? If we check here, these are the things which are different. Let's again try. We have this off canvas show visibility, something changes in between. Okay. Do we have? I remember there was some class for this small animation. I don't remember that. Are they using it now with JavaScript only? There was some class like showing or hiding, something like this. If we say showing off canvas bottom, and then we have this showing. Do we have this class? It's not there anymore. Showing is not here. Okay, what we'll do first, let's get it to work. Then we'll see how can we have this animation. Okay, so we are going to copy this thing, the shown state, add it as HTML, just copy this entire thing, go to our code, and we are going to create a separate reusable component for this. So inside the shared in components shared folder, I'm going to right click, add eraser component, and we are going to call it, let it come, bottom sheet. Okay, and we are going to have this HTML. All right, then we are going to have some dynamic parts here. ID, we don't need this. Area labeled by, we don't need this. Style, yes we need this. Area model true, role dialog, of canvas header. This header, we can get rid of this header, or no, we can have this. So this thing is going to be dynamic. The component or page which needs this bottom sheet, they will provide this title of this bottom sheet. Here we can have this as a property. So we'll say string title. This is going to be a parameter. Then we can use this title here at the rate title. Then close of data bs dismiss. We are not using JavaScript. So this data bs, all these data attributes, these are being used by Bootstrap's JavaScript, which adds these functionalities. So we will have our own logic to close this. Then we have this off canvas body small. We need to see what is this small, but here we need to provide a body. For body, we are going to get the dynamic body from the consumer of this component. Okay. For this, we are going to have one more parameter with the render fragment. We are going to name it child content, which is default name for default template. This is also going to be parameter, and we are going to add editor required and this one also, so that it shows the small warning kind of thing in the consumer component. Okay. So this child content, we are going to render this child content inside this off canvas body child content. All right. Now, when we close it, so we will handle the opening and closing of this from the consumer side only. Whenever we are trying to close it, we will simply raise one event. The consumer component can't handle how they want to handle this. So point is, on clicking of this close, we will trigger something. So for this also, we are going to have an event callback. Event callback, let's say on close. And this is also going to be a parameter and editor required. And on this close, we will simply say @ on click. And we are going to say on close. With this, we are good. We just have one more thing. That, where is that? Backdrop. So we need this backdrop as well. Edit as HTML, copy this, go to Visual Studio and add it here. Save it, and now we are good. Now we can use this. Let's quickly try to use and see how it is looking. So we'll quickly go to profile page. Here, let's say when we didn't work on this update profile API endpoint, right? I don't remember it, but we worked on change password. So let's, for this change password, we are going to open it. So what we can do, we can simply have a small piece of state. We'll say private bool, let's say show change password sheet, something like this, default value false. Then in here, we will simply have a if check, if underscore show change password sheet is true. We are going to render that bottom sheet, and it is going to give us this warning line that it expects these parameters: title, child content, and on close. Okay. So title, we know we have changed password, and on close, we know what we need to do on close. We just need to set this show change password flag to false. All right. Then in body, we are going to have a form here. For now, let's say change password form. This thing is going to be as a body. Then when we click on this change password, this thing, this li, we need to just set show change password sheet to true. So here we'll say on click equals just set this to true. Save it. Let's quickly try it out. Let's see, it should come. When we click on it, it should come, and when we close it, it should go away. Okay, we are here. Let's go to profile page. We need to log in. We log out, I think. Add, what was this? Temp at gmail.com 123456. Login. Yes. And we came back to profile page. This is also validated now. All right. Now let's try the change password. So we see this thing. See, if we close it, it is getting closed. And we can see this. The animation is not there, but at least we can see this. Bottom sheet. Let's try to implement the animation. I don't know. We are not using JavaScript, so we will not use that. But what we can try, we can, when we are showing this, maybe we can start from, we will have a transform translate y. On y axis we will have it as to the down out of the screen, and then we'll come back from the bottom, something like this. This is just a rough idea. Let's try to do this using our browser dev tools. So open it again, inspect. We have this section, this off canvas. Here let's try, if we say translate and translate transform transform translate x, not from both axes, we just need translate x minus 100%. If we do this, not x, sorry, y. If we do this, minus just 100%, like this. Right now it is here outside of this thing. Okay, so we will start from here, and then we'll start changing this 100% to 0%. So we'll keep on having the 99% like this. You see on the right side I'm just decreasing it, so it is keep on going. We are going to follow this approach. All right, so we'll start from 100% on y axis, and we'll go till 0%. So this is how we can implement a basic animation for this. Let's try this thing. So we'll go to our bottom sheet. Here we have style visibility visible, and here only we'll say transform translate y 100%, or maybe we can have some additional buffer. We can say, let's say 101%. Then when we are here, we will override on after render method. We'll check if this is first render, then we'll simply start changing this translate y 101%. For this, what we can do, we can simply have a private int translate percentage. It will be 101 by default. This one at the rate translate percentage, and inside this first render we will keep on changing this till 0%. Now here, instead of going one by one, maybe what we can try, we can have some gaps. We can simply go by 10 percentage. So here what we'll do, we'll say while the translate percentage is greater than 0%, then keep on doing something, not 0%, just 0. What you need to do, you just need to go to translate percentage and minus equals, let's say 10. Okay, and now if you know how the life cycle works of the Blazor, if we have some change in on after render, this does not automatically render. We need to explicitly tell it to render. Here we'll say state has changed. Okay, now it will start from 101. After rendering it, that means initial rendering, it will come here, and we are going to have it this while loop. It will come here, we'll check greater than 0. Yes, it is 101. We will come here, it will simply decrease it by 10, it will be 91. State has changed, it will change it, then it will keep on changing it till we are on -1 basically. But should we have -1? No, right? Let's do this 100 only. Okay, or if we don't want to do this, if you want to have this 101, then here we can simply check if translate percentage is greater than 0, then we'll simply set it to 0. So this is also one check if you want to have additional things. All right, let's try it out how it looks. And then one more thing, on this backdrop click also we will call the same on close. Let's restart. I hope it works. Technically it should. All right, app is here. Let's try. Go to profile, go to change password. So you see, and if we tap on top, okay, this thing also we should handle. When we are doing this, it directly comes here. If we tap outside, it gets closed. But when we are closing it at that time also, and then next time it directly hits on our face. So when we close it, we should actually do the similar kind of thing. Okay. Instead of directly you calling this on close, let's create a method private void close. And here we'll do the opposite of this thing. So here we'll say while translate percentage is less than 100, we are using 101, right? We'll say less than 101. Then we will simply keep on adding 10 and we can skip this step here. We are not worried if it goes to 102 or anything, or it just goes to 100, it will go to 111, right? Or we can have it also if we want to. Total percentage is greater than 101. Then we'll simply say translate percentage equals 101. That's all. State has changed. Yes, we need it here. And this close. Okay, after doing this, we are going to call our onClose dot async. This onClose method, this event callback. All right. Now we'll use this close here, close, and here also close. Let's restart and let's see if it works the way we are expecting it to work. It should have the same kind of animation for opening and closing both. Okay, app is here. Let's see if it works. Change password. It directly came. And now something is not right. Directly comes without this animation. Why it is doing this? Let's do this. Maybe here I'm going to have a p tag, and here I'm just going to show this text percentage. Save it, refresh this, and let's see what we can get here. Okay, app is here. Go to profile, change password, directly came, and we have this 0. Close it, nothing came, but we can directly see 0, nothing else. We saw that. Let's do this just to test. Hmm. hmm. Let's use the on after render async method. Override async task, and then before going to the next iteration, let's say await. After the state has changed, we'll say await task dot delay. Let's say 100 milliseconds. Same thing. Let's try this. 100 milliseconds is a lot. I just want to see what is happening here. For this close, we'll say async task, and here also we'll simply say await task dot delay 100. Here also we can say await. Save, restart. So we'll wait for 100 milliseconds after each this 10 percentage change in the translation of that bottom sheet. Let's see. Happy share, profile, change password. We can see this if we close it, goes very slow. Change password. Second time it directly comes. Is it reusing the component? Okay, let's do this. Here, what I'll do, hmm, let's do this. Let's just have a private int init counter, init counter 0 and first render counter 0. Okay, I'm just trying to see something. We'll say override on initialized. We are going to increase this init counter. We'll say plus plus and then first render counter. This we'll say plus plus here. And then we are going to print both of these. So init counter, this is translate percentage, and then we have first render counter, save, restart. App is here. Try again. Change password. 1 and 1. Fine. If we close it, translate percentage was fine. If we again do this, 1 and 1. You can see this, it is working. Change password. Remove it. Change password. Now it is working. So now it didn't work. Something is not right. It is always 1. That means it comes to first render counter. Okay, let me try to debug it offline. I'll debug and let's see how I can get everything to work the way we are expecting it to work. It works, the functionality works, but it is kind of random. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. For first thing, it comes very fast. The logic is same here and here. But for close, it does not work like this. It goes very slow. For this, it directly comes. Alright, so let me see what is the problem here, how to fix it. I'm going to debug it. I tried a couple of different things here, but we have that random behavior. So what my guess is, maybe something is messing up with uh, we could say the CSS styling in Bootstrap. And what we are doing here, these two are not matching with each other. So there is some issue with this. And then other thing which I found in the bootstraps of canvas, they say we should not use it was somewhere here only where it is. Given how CSS handles animation, you cannot use margins or translate on an dot off canvas element. So maybe this is the problem. We are using translate to have that effect and it is somehow messing these things up. So we have that random behavior and that is related to animation only, and this is how it says. So solution, then I went to the source code of the off canvas.js in the this bootstraps github. Then I found the thing which I was showing, saying that showing and hiding classes, it is actually using these classes. So here when they are showing this bootstrap, they set area model true, role dialog, and then they add class name showing. This class name showing has a value of this showing class. And then After that animation completes this complete callback, they simply add the class name show, which is just show, and then they remove the class name showing. And the opposite of it, they does they do inside this in hide method. They simply add class name hiding, which is hiding, and then after this animation finishes, they simply remove the class name show and hiding both. So let's try to implement this thing, adding the showing and hiding classes. Okay, so we'll go to bottom sheet. Here we'll get rid of all these things. We'll have close method. Then we can get rid of these counters. We are not going to need them anymore. So let's remove these. Then this translate percentage as well. We don't need this now. Let's remove stop and remove this translate y, this transform. Okay. Alright. Now here we will not have this show directly. Instead, we are going to have a variable here. We'll say private string, let's say class name. Okay, which is going to have a default value as blank only. We are going to have this underscore class name here on this off canvas. Now when we are in here on after render, if first render, here we are first going to set the class name to showing. Then we are going to wait a bit. For that we can simply say await task.delay, and we can wait for some time, maybe 100 milliseconds, or maybe let's handle this using a constant here. We'll say private const int, and here we'll say animation time, something like this, and let's have it 100. We can use this animation time, we'll use it here. After this await task.delay, we'll say state has changed. Then what we'll do, we'll change the class name back to show, not back to, we are actually going to add this show class. And then we'll again say state has changed. Now we are good with this. And we are going to do the opposite of this in our close method. So here we'll say underscore class name equals hiding. We are going to wait for this animation time. After this, we are going to say underscore class name equals back to blank. Let's try this now. Alright, app is here. Let's try now. Profile, change password, and we can see this. Cool. You see, we have this animation behavior, and I'm trying it multiple times. We can see this. It is working. Cool. So this is fine. Alright. So looks like we are done. Cool. This thing is working. Alright. So with this, now we can start working on our change password and edit profile things. Those things we are going to work next. Right now we have just implemented our bottom sheet. Cool.